Frank J. Avewlla with the Contending. Kaouther Ben Hania's The Voice of Hind Rajab is a terrifying, crucial piece of filmmaking that was just shortlisted for the International Feature Oscars. I'm happy to have her here to discuss the film. Welcome, Kaouther.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here and seeing you again. So this is a remarkable film, made all the more essential, I think, because of the story it tells about humanity or our lack thereof. Uh, How does it feel? Let me start with something joyous. How does it feel to be among the 15 shortlisted international features?
It's great. I think that Academy member, at least part of them, watched the movie and voted for it. It means that the movie touched them, and I'm very happy to be part of the shortlist because when I did this movie, my main purpose was to make her voice echo the voice of Hind Rajab, and the fact to be shortlisted means that her voice will echo, yeah, in the next few days and few months.
Piggybacking on that, tell us how this project came about and why you decided to use Hin's voice and then dramatize the workers at the Red Crescent Center.
This is started when I heard her voice for the first time. It was a small extract on internet. And once you hear Hind Rajab voice, you can't go on with your daily life. At least it was the case for me. I was doing the Oscar campaign of my previous movie for Daughters, and was about to start the preparation of another movie, the pre-production that I've been writing, and it was financed. And then I heard this little voice asking for help. And when I understood that this is a little girl trapped in a car in Gaza, in a car full of the body of her family already killed, and she's begging for her life, I told myself we live in a world where a child is begging for life, and there is an 8-minute ambulance away, and we can't even send the ambulance. So I had this strong feeling of anger, inside me. I wanted to shout. And then I told myself, what can I do? I'm a filmmaker, so I can do something, I can at least, tell this story and honor the memory of this little girl. So I started thinking about the kind of movie I want to do, and it's not an easy task to talk about what was happening in Gaza while it was happening, you, uh, I reached out to the Red Crescent and asked them to share with me the recording, the whole recording, because they put on internet only a small extract, and I was lucky enough. They trusted me and they shared with me 70 minutes of recording. And you asked me why I did the movie the way it is,
Yeah.
why the choices. I think what guided me, there was many things. There was the ethical question, about how to tell the story of the killing of a child, which is something very, very difficult, I thought that the archival document, was so, how to say, um, horrible, but at the same time, everything was there, all what happened, during that day, and I needed to think about the point of view. And in which way I'll tell this story. So I had several, point of view. I could tell this story from the mother point of view, Hind's mother point of view, from the tank point of view,
Mm.
from the car inside with the Hind. But I thought because I heard her voice for the same time, and I had this feeling that I wanted to share with the audience, there was two elements very important for me. Her voice was alive and immediate, so I needed to tell this story in the present tense, to go back to this moment when saving her life was possible and to show why they couldn't save her. And also, the second thing was about the perspective of those who listened, and the perspective of the Red Crescent people who received the call and who stayed with her on the phone and who tried against all odds to send an ambulance, their last ambulance in northern Gaza. And at the end, they paid a very heavy price. Their colleagues were bombed in their mission to go to rescue this little girl. I thought that their perspective is the right distance, to tell this story. They are not in Gaza, they are in the West Bank and Ramallah. So there is a distance between them and this little girl, and the way they received this call. I mean, when I heard her voice for the first time, I told myself, if me, I felt like this, what about the people receiving the call, in the front line, trying to help her. So for all those reasons, I choose to tell the story in the offices of the Red Crescent, in the image, but in the sound we had the space of the car, and I didn't need to do the mise en scène of Hind in the car. I thought it was very bad taste to do this, and to do this story in the present tense, I needed reenactment. I needed to go back with actors and to relive this moment when they received the call. But at the same time, since I brought actors, I knew that I needed to tell the audience that those are actors. This is the contract with the audience. Those are actors, and at some point, if you remember in the movie, they stop even acting. They are listening to the real audio. So for me, it was very important to tell the audience, this is real. This is a real story. This happened.
So powerful that way. You did it with Four Daughters too, the hybrid doc fiction that works so well. It's fascinating, this blend. Um, and also because you chose to focus on, we got the procedural, the bureaucratic insanity and the blundering as well. And I think that also, helped the audience really kind of come into the film.
Yeah, the procedure is have nothing to do with the classical procedure that we know, classical bureaucracy. When the first question I asked the Red Crescent people when I talked with them was when they told me there was an 8 minute away ambulance, because in our normal world you send the ambulance immediately. So the question was why, and
Yeah.
when I understood how they can't send an ambulance without a safe route sent by the Israeli army who killed the family of this little girl. And they have to wait, for their approval, because otherwise their colleague will be bombed. I was like, but at the end they were bombed, so there was something beyond tragedy, beyond cruelty in this story, and for me it was important to shed light open this, system, oppressive system.
Well, and I think one of the questions that hangs over Hind's story is, why would the Israeli army kill an innocent young girl? And yet they did.
Yes. And Hind is not the only child, And if you listen to her mother, she's an incredible, courageous woman, she always, start by saying, my daughter is not the only child, The numbers are just horrible. You have the killed children, but you have also the amputee children, the orphan children, So there is a catastrophe, what happened in Gaza. We don't realize, till now, the scale of the tragedy of what happened in Gaza. It took us like years and years to grasp, the stain on our, conscious, what because of what was done in Gaza.
Absolutely. And, there's so much emphasis, I know, on the political aspect of the film, but I need to applaud you on making this harrowing, nail-biting cinematic experience as well. It's not easy to put together a film that makes a powerful, important statement, but is also a really, really good film.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. I want to talk about Venice because I was there. I
Oh,
was sick the day of the press screening and I could not get into another screening. But it was the longest ovation in festival history. How did that whole experience fit? Were you expecting that?
no, I wasn't expecting that. I was, when you do a movie, you show it around you in your circle, but you always wait for the premiere to feel the effect of what you did, and if the intention you wanted to put in the movie are readable, by the audience. So it started in the dark, in the Sala Grande, this magnificent place in Venice Film Festival. I could hear, in the room, the sobbing of the audience. And then when the film ends, they start clapping, and I was telling myself, when they will stop, and they stopped actually, not because they wanted to stop, but because they asked us to leave the theater. There was another movie after,
Uh,
So the reaction was beyond, my expectation. And I remember I said, now I think her voice will echo. This is a very good first reaction to the movie.
I I wanted to ask you, did you get any pressure to not make this film?
I would not call this pressure because I'm not a person that you can, advices. Let's call them advices, advices, not why you are doing this movie. It's maybe too early. Let's wait a little bit. Maybe it can be dangerous for your career. Some advices like this. But for me, it wasn't an option not doing this movie because after hearing her voice, she's a child, when you think about it. And I needed to do this movie. Otherwise, I felt like I could be complicit in her death in a way,
Hmm. Well, and as I said in my review, for me, it was about the hatred that, you know, this could have been a film about a young girl killed by Hamas on October 7th. It could have been a film about a young Russian boy killed in Ukraine. It's
Yes.
not, but it shows the hatred in this in so many parts of the world, including here in my own country right now.
Yeah, exactly. But Hind was killed simply because she's Palestinian, she's from Gaza. Otherwise, when you think about it, and she wasn't the only victim in this story. All her family around her. Let's remember that she was in this car surrounded by six dead body of her family.
And aware, that's what killed me. She was aware that they were dead.
Yes, yes. Yes, she started by saying they are sleeping, which is a very nice, thing for a child to say. And you see the dispatcher Rana almost happy to know that she said they are sleeping. So she told her, "Let them sleep, don't bother them." And then Hind tells her, "No, they are dead. Don't bullshit me.
Yeah.
I know what is it, they are corpses. So you see this little girl growing, in term of because of the tragedy she is leaving. So she's not the only one. You have this family with her aunt and uncle and four cousin. her cousin. She grows up with those cousin, and then you have the two paramedic who came to rescue her.
Yeah.
This is beyond. They played by the book of the Israeli army. They respected all the rules, so they could send an ambulance without risking, the life of their colleague. I'm talking about the Red Crescent. And at the end, meters away, when I heard this in the recording, meters away, you have Yusuf Zainu, the paramedic in the ambulance looking for the car in Gaza. It's dark and you don't have electricity in Gaza. It's January, it's very cold. So he say in the phone, ah, there she is. So he saw the car, and the moment when he said, there she is, we hear the bomb, open the ambulance. And this is, this war crime, everything around this story is so horrible. And I needed to tell this story also because Frank, when I heard the voice of Hind Rajab for the first time, it was on social media.
Mm.
And we are receiving, Palestinians are filming their death, we are receiving a lot of images from Gaza. But since social media is about scrolling, it's almost about forgetting, it's like amnesia or denial, let's scroll and forget about things. And that's why I needed to do a movie, because I think that a movie, maybe it can be a place to stay still for an hour and a half and to understand the extent, of what happened.
And even after all the acclaim, you had some trouble getting distribution. Isn't that true?
In the US, you know, and other places of the world, it was so much easier. The film is welcomed. But in the US, we thought that maybe a movie that is, have had the Silver Lion at Venice Film Festival, the oldest festival in the world, and this standing ovation, and the track record of audience award since Venice, everywhere we got an audience award. So it's a movie for the audience also. We thought that another movie about another topic will be welcomed, will be picked by a big distributor in the US. It wasn't the case. But the movie is in theater. It's a limited release. We are back to the, how to say, to the niche thing,
Yeah.
wanted to go out from the niche perimeter, where this movie is in. But the good news that in theater it's a limited release in New York in Film Forum and in Los Angeles at Limley Theater. It's a huge success. I just saw the numbers and it's exceptional. So I think that despite those obstacles to distribute the movie is doing very, very well in theater right now. It was released on the 17th of December, and American want to watch this movie.
They do. Yeah. Then hopefully it will expand. Well, you also have some great actors who came on board as executive producers like Joaquin Phoenix, Rooney Mara, Brad Pitt, Jonathan Glazer, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was done actually when we finished the editing. I told you about the niche thing because I was afraid that I did this movie, as I told you, to honor the voice of this girl and to make it echo, to not forget, to remember, And I thought that this movie is in Arabic with subtitle. The actors are not stars, so it will stay in the niche thing, And we needed to take it out from this place and to tell people who don't care, maybe, please watch it. How you can do this? By support of big names,
Yeah.
So we reached out when we finished the editing around us in the business to many person asking if they want to support this movie by putting their name mainly, And we were hoping to have maybe one of them. All of them answered yes. They saw the movie, they loved the movie, they wanted to support. So this is why we have these incredible names in the credit. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix and Ronnie Mara, they came especially to Venice Film Festival to be with us in the red carpet to show their support. It was incredible, and yeah, I'm very grateful because the fact they are in this movie, it doesn't help a lot for the distribution in the US, but many people heard about the movie.
Did Hin's mother see the film?
This is a very good question, because for me it was very important to have her blessing, and one of the first thing I did was calling her to talk to her about the movie. And at the time when I called her, she was still in Gaza, and she was in a very difficult, she lost her daughter. Bombs are around her. She was moving from one house to another. And she told me, I want justice for my daughter. So if this movie can help in a way, please do it. And when I finished the editing, actually, the first thing I thought of is to show the movie to the four real dispatcher from the Red Crescent. So they wanted to see the movie. We organized a screening for them in Ramallah in their offices. They have a great theater in the Red Crescent offices. And I contacted Hind mother. She told me it's too early. I can't watch the movie. She told me I can't even hear the recordings, which are all over internet. When I see her voice, I like, close the phone, and I can't, But if you really need my feedback about the movie, show it to my brother. She is very close to her brother. They are like best friend in the world. So we organized a screening to his mother brother, and they talked about it, and they are very proud of the movie. They are very supportive. And actually, we met all of us together like 3 weeks ago at Doha Film Festival. The movie was the opening movie of the festival, and they invited all of us, me and my actors, but also delegation from the Red Crescent with the four real Rana, Umar, all the person, and also they invited Hind mother. And it was very moving, It was the first time that we meet all of us together around the voice of Hind Rajab. And actually, Hind mother, we did like four screening, I think, with Q&A after. She always arrived at the end of the movie in the movie theater to meet the audience. And she told me, I'm not ready to see the movie, but seeing the reaction of the people about the movie is something that console me and give me so much courage, because I couldn't do a proper funeral to my daughter when I was in Gaza because of the situation. And I consider those screening like a proper funeral, and it gives me so courage to meet people. So it
Mm.
was very moving, meeting her. And she did actually a great speech at the opening ceremony of Doha Film Festival. It's on internet, you can find it. She told about her daughter. She talked about her daughter, but also about all the love she's receiving from around the world and what she can do with this love. She wants to launch a charity, for the children of Gaza, to
Mm.
help the children that can still be saved.
That's extraordinary. Well, Cather, I have one final question for you. I know you completed another film, Mimesis. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is actually the movie I was about to shoot when I heard the voice of Hind Rajab say. So I put it aside because I couldn't, tell another story. And then after Venice and Toronto, actually, I went to Venice, Toronto, and went directly back to the set and shot this movie, so it's a wrap. And it's a period piece actually set in Tunisia, and it's about a lie in a family, but it's a lie who created a cult, you know. And it's a movie about the how telling a story is way stronger than real facts, and how people don't want facts. They want to hear a beautiful story to believe in it.
Wow, another timely film. I look forward to seeing that one. Thank you for making this film. It's quite an experience, and people need to see it. And thank you for taking the time out, Cather.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.